Yep. So, oops. We're gonna go over Friday price action. This week overall was really random. Well, like the draws and everything were hit exactly as expected. Like I called Monday the high right there, and then we just reversed, which was really clear. But the expansion, the way it moved, the only way you would really catch it is if you entered literally at market open or just had the widest stop ever, but then your profits would be so small. So, anyway, going into today, so I was bullish because yesterday I saw the monthly with a daily, so we're bullish. And then our draws are these highs, but then it seems like Dow just decided to rip to the moon and take the highs out earlier, which is fine as long as as long as MQ is able to get there before we end up having a daily. I mean, end up having a weekly. So what do you know? Um, Dow completely beats us at 9:30 on the dot. So we create this high right here at 8:30, which was our news, and then 9:30 creates another swing high, which creates 90-minute cycle along with a weekly cycle, and then we just plummet down and this I'm not really plummet. We just fall back into the range and stop for the rest of the week. I guess for the rest of the day, really, it's just Friday. So the setup I took, honestly, was really clean. Everything was by the rules. It just the day was really ugly, so didn't feel satisfying. But here's a higher time frame, right? So we dipped down into that AM session. We had a pretty nice crack with YM, and then hopping onto the 1 minute, as you can see right here. Where is it? So we dipped lower. I treated 8:30 as manipulation, which honestly I feel like it was because after that we swept. We came back up, swept it before going lower. But here's 9:30, went straight down, ripped away. Then we traded in this gap, and I waited until we get at least halfway into it. Then once we got halfway into it, right over here, I took a buy entry, expecting another gap to form out of it, but not really being too risky about it. And as you can see, ES touched this, respected it perfectly, went to the new day opening gap. But then at this point, I saw that weekly, and since we failed to take this high, see, we got up there and just failed to take it. Oh wait, that's probably already 10 o'clock. Oh, that's already 10. It was like, I went like break even over here pretty much. Well, not break even. I ended the day in profit by 0.25, no, by 0.2 RR. So very little. But yeah, so after that though, I mean, look, we just dipped lower, chop, 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 no retracements. This one didn't even expand us, and that's it. So rest is accumulation. Next week's NFP, so we're gonna see how we act from there. I'm expecting back to all-time highs once again because we just had monthly cycle along with daily, which is still being respected. We're just stuck because of weekly. So next Monday is gonna be clean. And now we'll just take a look at the overall week day-to-day basis. So first, I'm gonna show you guys the one that I just took, obviously. So my entry was literally perfect. So I'm pretty happy about that. So look, the entry was at the lower half, like honestly the low of this candle. I knew it was going to expand because we were traced back into this balanced price range along with 50% of the 931 gap. And so the entry was good. And then right here we chopped around, pulled back down to this gap. It was pulling down so aggressively that I just didn't want to budge. I was like, no, I'm out of this. I left. It went a bit higher, then just plummeted. That's it for today. So the best thing to do for today was honestly like if I wanted to, I could have waited till 10. If I waited to 10, I just wouldn't have taken anything. So today was just nothing, no show day. Now we're gonna start on Monday and just go through them. So first of all, Monday, This Monday was just super clean. I had very strong win, and this win pretty much carried us through the rest of the week. So we had a strong Monday, which I want to see myself holding these kind of trades a bit longer, but still like very good profits. Tuesday dropped at 9:30, straight chop. I tried to buy, left it around break even. Then on the other accounts, I took more, which regret. um, but it would have hit even if I took that original buy, which was in a discount. Even though higher time frame, we were bearish because it took this high out and reversed. Now Wednesday took a buy in this gap. Should have waited for the higher time frame. So Wednesday is the only day where I had a mechanical error in terms of my strategy. Um, I guess the perfect trade would obviously be over here at 11:20, but that's past my time zone. So Wednesday, it really was either an entry after the micro, which I did take on a fund, not on a funded. I took it on the combine, and it hit. I entered like over here and just let it short. But next time, I just gotta wait for the full retest because if we drop like the way you see here, we dropped right before 10 o'clock. There's a high chance of it just chopping for the rest of 10 a.m. or even just retracing back heavily. Um, I was bearish I was very bearish after the micro, but with this level of chop, it's just so hard to just commit to it. You see, eventually we just die off at 12. But think about it. Lunch expansion is so rare. You see that. So like I guess because it's Q4, it's more probable. But even then, Thursday. This was yesterday. The entry was honestly perfect once again. No regrets at all. Higher time frame gap, lower time frame gap, higher time frame retraced back to about 70% of the range, lower time frame retraced, and then we reversed in order to make a monthly cycle higher. You can't really expect that too much. It was literally a hidden monthly. So this is one of those things where you just gotta accept this one. So a bit unfortunate that we saw this on Thursday right after my first mechanical loss in the last week on Wednesday, but it happens. So but even those 2 days, they were both 2RR in total, which equated to exactly my profits on Monday. So in reality, it just went break even. And on Friday, as you saw. So all in all, doing pretty decent on the accounts. But yeah, this week was a mess. Uh, for in terms of September, definitely the worst quality price action. But now next week, wide stops. I'm hitting max 2RR for myself because it's Q1, and then after Q1 we have Q2, Q3, which Q2, Q3 of October you can expect usually expansion around 9:45, not so much of a 9:30 rip as we did this week. I think the only main reason we ripped this aggressively at 9:30s was because of Q4 and because of all-time highs. So, 'cause as you can see normally, like here's these past performance, I guess. Like look at last Friday. Pullback 9:46. There's the entry. So that one was clean, super clean, and then it actually held up. Here's last Thursday again. This was a reversal. The reversal was around 950 ish, But look, at 9:30 we didn't do too much, and then so on and so forth for the rest of the days. Here's Wednesday. Once again, FOMC, an entry around 1020, um, which is very solid, typical. Waited for 10. Yeah, that was really clean on FOMC day. And then here's retail day before FOMC. This is when I learned that I need to start using wider stops, and very similar to actually this Tuesday. But even this day, like, look, you entered in top 50, you would have. This is much easier to read than this week. So, but still, all in all, pretty solid. Uh, CPI this month would have been super clean too. So, all right, and that's it for this week. So, adios. Bye bye.